It's the level of competition for me. Two battlers locked in a verbal annihilation, a dog fight. You bring in the bars, you bring in the wordplay, the attributes that make the battle grand. It's the breakdown, baby. Get your guards up. Fuck with us one night a week. Salute.
Happy Merry Christmas. Y'all, I'm trying to be in good spirits. I'm here with y'all. So, that makes me happy. It is Ugly Face Winged and my brother.
Real name Ray. Just call me Ray. What's going on? Salute to my sisters. Let's go ahead and get started with the show. Well, the first show of two.
Right. Oh, go ahead. I thought you was gonna finish.
Oh, this is the first show of two. We will be talking about the Cody with the full cast later on today. This one is a special one that Wing put together. We're hoping to have a conversation with A Ward, talk to him about how he feels about Champion of the Year, his plans for 2022, and hopefully break down this whole thing, this controversy about what Easy said about the whole white privilege comment that he had made on Champion, which I 100% disagree with. But I'm going to save my rant for a little bit later because everything that I have to say will not be, I don't want to associate it with this being on A Ward. So other than that, that's basically what I'm trying to present and, break down. So hopefully we get A Ward up here pretty soon, and then we can get started with all the other good stuff.
Also, Danny Lux will be coming back. She will be coming back Friday. I think she said Saturday, Christmas night. She'll be back Christmas night. Okay. She said have the eggnog ready. It will be toast up time after the chilling is all tuckered out from the presents that y'all have the presents that y'all worked so hard to get and the ones that Santa is going to bring. I had to say that because my little one just walked out the door. Make sure you got my door closed all the way, little girl, trying to ear hustle. Soon as she heard Santa, she creeped that door open. No, I'm just playing. But her birthday was yesterday. Yeah, I got a Christmas kid. Tried not to, but you know how that go. We actually tried not to stay in the hospital for Christmas, but I ended up, that's why I induced her. She was supposed to be on the 20th so we could get home by the 22nd. You got to stay in the hospital for like a day or two. But
yeah.
It just depends. Nowadays, they be trying to get you in and out. But it was kind of the
Especially
way.
Especially if you ain't got no insurance.
Okay, well, I had good insurance. So we was good. But there was some other stuff that occurred with the inducing and my blood pressure shot up. My doctor was like, what the hell is really going on? I'll tell y'all that story another time because it was something serious. But my little Christmas kid is the gift that keeps on giving. But anyway, the gifts that keep on giving from the Breakdown Crew Network. I'm playing with my green screen, y'all. I have everything set up in my room. So I have my space in my room where, I got, a lot of room. But I actually, when I was going to work with 15 Minutes of Fame, I actually was told that I have to be kind of further away from the green screen so I don't get chopped off. You see how my fingers are chopping off? So I'm just playing with it right now with y'all. Since I had the feature and I thought, hell, why not display the name? Anyway, so I'm having some fun. Get them likes up, but we will have A Ward on and we're going to talk about it. We're giving you two shows today. So we're going to give you today's show or this right now with A Ward. And then after that, we'll have us back on to talk about what Ray said we'll be talking about. So y'all make sure y'all hear both times and y'all share these shows, share these shits. Y'all make sure y'all share this. And shout out to all of our faithful supporters. Love y'all. salute Prestivia. Where do you see Prestivia at, Mo Green? Or you were just saying salute Prestivia?
Oh, yeah, he was just saying salute Prestivia. I mean, she's been.
Yeah, it's been spicy around battle rap. What the hell?
Yeah, I mean, it's 20. Listen, we keep saying every year that, oh, this is a great year for battle rap. This is a great year for battle rap. 2021, without a doubt, was a hell of a year for battle rap. You know, a lot of people were able to come back outside. Fans was able to come back to live shows. Everything was clicking on all cylinders. It wouldn't be battle rap without some controversy. It wouldn't be no battle rap without some made up storylines about who's sleeping with who. Like it was, and then we had on top of that great battles all year. Nothing too lackluster. We had a Fire $100,000 tournament. We got a current Fire $100,000 tournament that's still going on with King of the Dot. It was just a really great year for battle rap. So to me, I'm just trying to figure out,
Liz.
I'm just trying to figure out where do we go from here in 2022. What do you like to see happen in 2022? Me, I know the one thing that's on the table is a lot of rematches. So yeah, that's just my hope for everything that's going on. I just hope we keep growing as a community and all that good stuff. So yeah. Mo Green said we gonna talk about it, Mo Green. We gonna talk about it because I really listen. I'm gonna start by saying this. Easy has won me a lot of money and a lot of bets that I've made with people. But I definitely have to say something about what he said because you took the wrong path. And to me, it's complete and utter stupidness of what you had said. Big shout out to Polo and Cola, the bar guy show over there at Black Compass, because they did their thing. Brothers. You know, they have crazy interviews and stuff like that, crazy moments. Black Compass is definitely established here in this media game. But it was something easy. When Easy said that, like, I totally disagree. And I as real name Ray, just called me. I'm going to break that all the way down.
Called me like, I got a word behind backstage. I'm gonna bring him up in just a minute. But just before we do that, not to cut Ray off, but I want to hurry up and get him on. But that Ray called me like, when I tell y'all perturbed was not the word. I have like an 8-minute interview that we never dropped. And I guess as media, we do kind of save the files on different things. And that's cool that we do that because this particular interview is so, it is so relevant to what's going on right now. But, you know, I'm gonna get into it because those comments was dumb as shit. But, and I'm sorry, Easy, they were. But at the end of the day,
hey, Ward.
What's up? Can y'all hear me good?
Yeah, we can hear you great. What's going on, brother?
Go ahead and introduce yourself. And we all know you, but
thanks for having me, for real. Thanks for reaching out. Obviously, if you don't know me, A Ward, I am award.com. Please go to the website, follow me on all social media, hyperlinks. I tend to be considered one of the decent battle rappers in the world right now. So
yeah. So as you kind of heard behind scenes, we don't want to get into that just yet. Like that's not, we want to, you know, everybody grabs you so quickly, and I don't like to repeat everything else that everybody talks about, but so we just kind of been waiting our turn to have you come on the show. And I don't think you've been on the show with us before, right?
I don't think so. If I have it would have been a while ago, maybe after my first RBE event or something like that. I know we've talked a couple times, but I don't know if we've ever done like an actual in-show. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna put my do not disturb on because I got all these notifications popping up. I forgot to do that.
Gotcha. Okay.
Do not disturb. There we go. All right, much better.
All right.
So, Roger, I was gonna say that. So we have like an interactive show where I show the comments on the screen too. So feel free if you see any comments that you might want to address. So go ahead. I'm sorry, Ray. Go ahead.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. So, A Ward, man, 2021's been an incredible year for you. You've been doing a lot of good work, man. You capped the year off. You capped the year off right, and then you kept on rolling all the way into the end of the year. How do you see yourself in 2022? Like, is it a potential route that you would like to see yourself going, or are you still just moving around and looking for the best battles?
Yeah, more of the same of this year, maybe a little less battles than this year. I obviously had 23 total, 13 3-rounds and 10 1-rounders. I really enjoyed every battle. I had a great time. Every city I went to, every league I was on, every random diner that I had breakfast at, you know, that was just some, you know, like that's what I love about battle rap is just eating at places you'll never eat before, you know, and visiting cities and stuff like that. So like, I would never sit back and say, yo, that, you know, that wasn't worth it or whatever, because there's some kind of experience or some kind of like person I was able to shake hands with, you know, that might not be able to see me live. So for 2022, it's like, you know, I think that right now, you know, I'm considered one of the top people for, you know, champion of the year and considered one of the top active battle rappers in the world. So it's kind of like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But there are, you know, just some, I would say like there's mental, physical, emotional, financial. I mean, there's all kinds of that exhaustion that comes with being out of town every other weekend for a whole year, plus having a 9-to-5 job. And, you know, so I would say that, you know, hopefully I'm able to like, limit my battles a little bit less, you know, than the 23. I do have like 2 or 3 battles that actually didn't go down last year, so I was supposed to do more that I have to do makeup battles for. So you'll probably see, you know, flyers drop here early on in the first quarter of 2022, and you'll be like, "Here's Ward's at it again, battling all the time." But I mean, you know, they're battles that I want to make sure I get taken care of that, you know, were supposed to be completed last year. And then, I mean, as far as like a specific route, no, you know, still continue to work with RBE. Want to make sure I get back on King of the Dot if they have something going that's not, you know, specific to the season or the tournament. You know, still want to field different offers. Do what? I'm sorry.
I say brick by brick.
Yeah. Yes. Brick by brick. Field all, just any offers from any place.
Then, right. Yeah. I think I got a delay there. I'm sorry. That's me delaying my internet.
Oh, you're
fine. Horrible.
You're fine. You're fine. I think my audio is a little bit low too. So, but yeah, just fielding offers and fielding opportunities, you know. Also want to make sure I can get back overseas. I haven't been overseas in a while. I love battling overseas. So that's just kind of like 2022 is like, you know, lock in, travel, continue to put on and continue to position myself to be in the talks like this, you know, at the end of the year to say like, wow, once again, he's up here with the other greats of what's going on today.
I don't know. In my weird brain, I feel like you and Danny Myers had a discussion behind the scenes and was like, let's see how many battles we can get in before the year end. Because if it's not you on the card or on the flyer, it's Danny Myers. And then you can also add Dre Dennis in there because Dre Dennis was working like crazy this year as well. So, like, it's just to see y'all constantly just keep putting out quality work over and over again or whatever it's just amazing. And then it also shows like how much you care for your craft and how much you are willing to give a shot and take a shot.
I tell people all the time, you know, at one point in time, my 4th battle was St. Mike, and he was just coming off URL battles, and I was just some random guy kind of, you know, in Kansas City. And, you know, he took, you know, however many $100 it was, you know, to come down and put together 3 crazy rounds, you know. If he would have came in and mailed it in or just took it as a check battle or whatever it might have been, you know, it might not have been the battle that it was. And it was an amazing battle for my 4th battle. So I'm always like, you know, looking at these up and comers and these younger guys that I go battle them is like, they could be the next A Ward, you know. And if I go in there and give them 3 crazy rounds or a crazy 1-rounder, you know, it could really help benefit them and give them the confidence or a measuring stick of where they're at when it comes to performing with guys that, you know, do this professionally.
And not for nothing, that St. Mike battle is the battle that I know you from, because that's one of my favorites. He's one of my favorites. And so that's when I saw him. Go ahead.
I always say, like, if I was to win champion of the year this year, I promise you, I'll send $100 gift card to every no-name battler that I battle this year. And I'll tell them, like, yo, your battle meant something. Like, I really mean that, you know,
That's
like,
dope.
because everybody always wants to say, oh, who are you battling? Joe Schmo at gas station battle league or whatever. And I just want, like, when guys battle me, like, you think it's maybe for a check on my end, but like, no, it means something to me that you want to go and you want to, you know, battle me and you want to, you know, bring me out and different things like that. Like, I would literally send, you know, and shoot, that's $1,000 easy, you know what I mean? But I mean, that's just how much it means to me. Like, the people that like really like value me. There's some people blocked on my Twitter right now, and all they did was say, "You battle nobodies," and like that stuff just irritates me whenever they take that route. And but like, to protect my peace, I just block them because I really believe in, you know, helping bring up the culture of battle rap.
Right. That's why with RBE, I wanted to help Lawrence with the 1SKs and and we introduced the brick by brick process because that's what everybody knows Wing for. You know what I mean? When Caps and I was first coming up into and came with the second Angry Fan radio show, that's what everybody knew us for, is the up and comers everywhere. You see what I'm saying? And I never stopped that, male and female. And that, yeah, now it's kind of like everybody had to start from somewhere. Why would you know what I mean? Why would you say, oh, you know, with the argument with you, well, you had a bunch of one rounders with no names. But you know what? Some of those no names will become names because A word, why do I do that? A word showed you that. You know what I mean? Everybody said, no, it ain't A word. I'm sorry. But sometimes
happens all the time.
But that's true. It's like I really hate the uphill battle that you have when it comes to the talent that you see. You and Danny do that a lot. The talent that you see, and even Dre Dennis, let me give him his flowers. And you say, you know what? No, I'm going to battle them. But isn't that what battle rap is, though? Like, isn't that the essence of giving somebody a shot that's nice? I kind of look at it as boxing. You give that person that's up and coming, they look like they've been battle tested or they've had this many fights put in and they look like they might be able to get in around with you for 1 or 3 rounds. Isn't that what that's supposed to be, though?
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, back when it started, you were just showing up on, you know, a random street corner block and just battling whoever had bars ready, you know? You know, and so what happens is I would love for the culture to more look at it as a positive thing rather than a negative thing. But once you start making lists and you're trying to like decide who's the best, like I know for a fact that me taking all those battles, like you could easily say like, wow, he took a lot of battles and put on all year. And he gave a lot of people shots and he really poured into this culture. And you can look at it from a positive standpoint. But if you don't want me to be at a position, it's an easy way to find an excuse to say, yeah, look who he's been battling and create a negative aspect out of it, you know? And I know we're going to talk about Easy later on, but like I think Easy's resume is impeccable because he leaves no excuses. You know, he has 5 battles that you can't say anything about. You know, I might think 5 battles is wow, it's only 5 battles, but he left no room for somebody to say, but look who he battled, or but look where he battled, or but you know, and that's how tight knit it has to be when you're arguing numbers with a subjective system. Because no matter what, I have quality and quantity. People always say, yeah, quantity over quality. When they look at my schedule, I'm like, well, I have them both. You know, I have the quality battles, the Ill Wills, the Geechees, the Castros, the Rosenberg Raw. Like I have quality battles too, and I have quantity. But if you don't want me to be at the top, then you're immediately just going to look over and say, well, look at these one rounders. Well, look at these no names, and that's just the nature of the beast.
But see, they're only no names to those that wants to bring it down. Because if you lose to that no name, then they're going to amplify that name like it's the greatest name ever.
Of course.
You know, it's like XL, he's a hell of a MC or whatever, and he don't get to just do what he got. But then when it came out that, A Ward lost to XL and the Champion of the Year talk started, everybody all of a sudden start bringing XL's name up. But he lost to XL, and it's like, wait a minute, y'all just wasn't even giving XL his props a year ago, but because he possibly beat A Ward, is now everybody knows his name all of a sudden. So it's almost a catch-22. It's basically they use it when they need to use it, and then when they want to discard it, they discard it and say, "Oh, he was battling trash people we never heard of."
Let me ask you this, Ray. Let me ask you this: would that not be impacting the culture per Champion of the Year criteria?
I mean, it
I was gonna
definitely.
say that, but yeah.
Me personally, I feel like it definitely impacts the culture when a big name is going to giving people shots, because we've always been asking the top tiers to give the shots, and most of the top tiers will duck the shots for a long, long time and then finally give the shot when nobody is interested. But if you have the A Wards, the Danny Myers, who is like basically on cleanup duty and was like, oh, this up and coming want a shot. Okay, let me go ahead and give him a look. Oh, this up and coming want a shot. Okay, let me go ahead and give him a look. It gives them an opportunity to say, okay, boom, now we can go on to the next level. Oh, I remember this guy from when he battled A-Ward. I remember when this guy battled Danny Myers. Now I know who this person is. But then if you're just, again, discarding them like, oh, they're nothing or whatever, or this really wasn't a strength of schedule move, I don't see how, because most of the people that take 5 battles couldn't do 23 in a year. So how do you really label strength of schedule? It's 2 ways you can label strength of schedule: the name and the quality of the battle, or how many battles you take. Because I know a person, I know most people Surf like to do is like basketball. I like to do is like fighting.
Yeah.
If you take on so many fights in a year, you're gonna end up getting clipped by somebody you ain't had no business getting clipped by. So
right.
Yeah, that's what I agree. And that's one thing we always talk about in battle rap is risk, right? And like for me to risk my spot 23 times and knowing that I can't ever have a bad day is difficult, you know? Like I go into these places and these guys are battling A Ward, you know what I mean? Like, of course they want to be clipped up. Of course they want to, you know, put on a show or whatever. And like, I can't just go in there and just put on, you know, 50% or 30% or whatever. And so that's why you see my material at a high level. And I'm always risking, you know, in the battle with the Kid Clutch before Ill Will was a risk. The battle with XL after Ill Will was a risk. The battle with, you know, like a Charlie Clips or an Arsenal, like there's all kinds of things that, you know, I take this one rounder 2 weeks before I go battle. I battled Homeschool just now, and I battle 2 weeks after Geechee Gotti. Like it's a risk, you know, but at the same time, it's the competitor in me. It's like I'm always on the road. I've never got my friends with me. I didn't battle in Kansas City once this year. I didn't battle anywhere 4 hours close to me this year, you know, and I'm always just like trying to have that warrior mindset of like, let's just go in here. And you know how many times people have said to me, like, Ward, like I watch you on YouTube, but like seeing you live is just different. And like whenever you can provide that different, you know, for people, you know, it's a beautiful thing. So
Mo Green dropped a question in the comments. He said, I don't have a battle rap question, but are you doing March Madness bracket?
I'll definitely be doing a March Madness bracket. Yeah, anything that has to do with sports, I got it. So be looking out on Twitter. I'll put a link out. We'll probably do like a giveaway.
All right. So my next question for you is you said you had 23 battles. What would you say, and I know this is a hard question, so I'm gonna try to give you like a twofer. What would you say is your 3 rounds that you most had fun with, and what was your 1 round that you had most fun with this year?
The 3 round that I had the most fun with, man, that's a good question. Definitely probably Ill Will. Ill Will battle is probably the most fun, you know. That was my first time being like, you know, battling in front of. Yeah, it's so good. It's so good, you know. That's the first time, you know, being in front of probably like 2,000 people. Before that, my biggest stage was probably my Peanut battle when Disaster battled Oxymoron. Like I battled on that stage, and that was probably like 800 or 900 or something. Yeah, and so so that Ill Will battle was just so many people, and then like that when that first rebuttal hit, and you're just kind of like, oh my gosh, the building's dropping, and you kind of know you got them eating out the palm of your hand. Like I had a great time, you know. And then, you know, a close second would obviously be this Geechee battle, and then a Lou Castro battle. I had a blast at the Lou Castro battle. Now, 1 rounder, definitely Charlie Clips was the most fun 1 rounder I had, you know, because I won the coin toss. And so so that was it was good. It's also him and Arsenal both, you know, I'm still a fan of this stuff, you know, to be able to say I stood in front of Arsenal and Charlie Clips is just wild to me, you know, they're just legends. So.
Okay. Wayne, did you have anything?
Let me ask you this. Going back to, because I've been wanting to ask you this for a little minute. Going back to Rosenberg Raw, some would say they know how I feel about this battle. So, and that's taking nothing from Rosenberg, because we actually talked about that battle too. But that was a great showing for him, where some would say that that wasn't such a great showing for you, knowing that the battles that you would have after that, did you actually downplay the writing or what happened? How did you feel personally about that battle?
I actually loved my writing, but it was a learning experience. My second and third round, like some of the writing that I had, just it wasn't for that big stage. What I was trying to do wasn't for the big stage. Yeah. And so what happens is you're trying to generate energy. So you're maybe like, you realize your writing is not for the big stage. So you're trying to force maybe some rebuttals to kind of get some crowd reaction so that, you can get some energy in there and that things will get rolling or whatever. My first round against Rosenberg Raw is crazy. It might be one of my best rounds of the year. The impression, the way the back-to-back punches happened. And what's crazy is that was the easiest round I wrote. If I would have just went back and said, yo, write 2 more rounds like this, it would have been an amazing performance, But I'm always trying to like show different aspects of different rounds and do different things. And so that's kind of where it was. It would just go back to the drawing board. That's not what it was for this particular battle. Rosenberg Raw is also a kind of guy where when you watch me in Ill Will, the charisma and the personality was feeding off of each other every round, Rosenberg Raw is more of just kind of a slower paced battler, and he just does what he does. And it's not, there's not that, that feeling when you're battling, and that's no discredit to him. That's just his style. So if he gets stagnant or if he has, a round that doesn't hit, all the pressure's on me to bring the energy back up. And I think what happened was after my first round, there was places in the second and third that were good, but it just didn't have that same feel. And so, like I said, I think it was material that, when I go back on paper, if I show anybody the material, I sparred it with all of my peers, the B Dots, the Losos, the, Chilla Joneses and stuff. They all heard the material, was like, yo, this is crazy, on paper, but you got to execute it and it's got to translate on stage.
Yeah. How do you feel about,
that's going to segue. I'm going to bring that point back up when we get to the other part of this conversation, because I'm glad that you said that, because we'll get there, but just y'all remember that part, because that people don't understand the value of moving around like you do, and other battlers like you. And that's why I asked that question, because where A-Ward can be great, again, I love that battle with you and Ill Will, and it has nothing to do with being biased. Number one, you had to be there. You definitely had to be there. And if you've never been to that max out stage, man, listen. We told y'all before, damn, Daylight was he beat us to the venue. He beat ARP and them to the venue, and he sat on that stage until it was time to go. Until it was time to start the event. So that says a lot. And I'm not mad at the practice, but this is what I guess the artistry of battle rap is, in my opinion. But go ahead. I'm sorry, Ray. I had to say that.
No, I just wanted to get into this whole thing about champion of the year. Like, where do you feel you stand? Like, do you feel you rank number 1? Or are you top 5? Like, how do you personally feel about the champion of the year discussions, your name being thrown around by fans, by people in media, so on and so forth? Like, how do you feel about all of that?
It's super flattering. It's always very flattering and very encouraging. I'm appreciative that people consider me, to be in the top, 5 of champion of the year or whatever it may be, top 10. I put in a lot of hard work this year. I really did, and there's part of me, like my I don't say this cliche, like my identity is hidden in Christ. My identity is hidden in my relationship with God. Like when I walk outside, like I can't let others dictate my happiness, my joy. You know what I mean? But at the same time, when you work hard at your passion and your craft, you do want to be recognized, and it's okay to want to be recognized. Like that champion of the year doesn't validate me, but at the same time, you do want to be recognized for your hard work. So I do also know that picking a champion of the year is, it's such a wild thing that we even get in these conversations. Football, basketball, baseball, everybody plays the same amount of games. You're able to like actually look at schedules and see head-to-head matchups and all this kind of stuff and say, hey, this person's number 1 in the nation. And even then, they still argue about who's in the college football playoff or who's in the whatever. And it's just like, So imagine having somebody that battled 23 times and comparing them against somebody that battled 4 times. Like, how do you even do it?
Right.
Yeah, so I would say that, you know, when I look at myself, I think that I embody what it means to be champion of the year. I think when you look at material, consistency, impact, strength of schedule, moments, all of that stuff, like I check all of the boxes. Not only do I check all of the boxes, like I say, and I don't know how much the extracurricular type things go into it, but I like I said, I'm out here outside all the time. I'm giving back to the culture. I'm putting on, you know, I'm freestyle battling people in parking lots. I'm literally, you know, just battle rap, you know. You know, what as far as what my placement is though, it's like I feel like if you put up Geechee at 1 and me at 2, then I should be number 1. I feel like you could take and you would look at those two people and you say these are our top 2, then I should win champion of the year. You know? It's also difficult because if you put me over here beside a Danny Myers or a Bill Collector, you might be able to argue that they're close to me too because of the similar type, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it just kind of depends on where you end up, you know?
This year is hard. This year is one of the years that's hard because you guys are working. Like you mentioned Bill, you mentioned Danny, like we cannot just be looked, and that's no diss to anybody, but we cannot base this shit off of battles. Excuse my French, but we cannot just base this off of battles. Like we gotta really or popularity. We got to look at the work that's being done right now on a different schedule. So salute to anybody who's in the male panel. We have the women panel. That's another conversation. But you got the men, yeah, definitely.
I've been saying it since October that whoever's on this champion panel and the women's panel, hands down, got their work cut out for them because it's the race is literally neck and neck and neck and neck and neck. Like it's, I was like, yeah, good luck to y'all.
One of the things that I value heavily are guys like France at Let's Talk Battle Rap, and you know, people that really watch all the battles. You know what I mean? And that like really try to do their best. You know, and yourself, try to do their best to like reserve judgment on biases or regions or anything like that, and like watch the content, pay attention to it, and you know, because you get, you know, you've had guys like, you know, on the panel and different things that you can just notice that you're like, oh, like I get you have a good knowledge of battle rap, but I can tell you haven't really like went through and looked at, you know, what's going on this year. You just kind of, you know, have put your decision together ahead of time. But yeah, it's definitely tough to do. And it's definitely something that, like I said, I believe I'm the champion of the year. I believe that, you know, when you look at it, you know, if the biggest thing people will say, well, you know, quality over quantity, but and maybe last year was a thing, but this year, like I have just as many quantities as the other guys that I'm up against. I have 8, 9, 10 battles of high caliber battle rappers. I have the RBE battles, the King of the Dot battles. I have a clear 30 over Lou Castro, who's going to be probably a top 20 battler. You know, I have a clear win over Shotgun Suge. I have, you know, Rosenberg Raw might end up going into the top 20. You know, Ill Will be in the top 20. Geechee Gotti will be in the top 20. Like, what are we talking about? I have 5 different battles against guys that are in the top 20. So if we're talking strength of schedule on that aspect, you know, I've battled those guys. And the other thing is, like, I need them to just admit if it's not the case. But to me, battling Ill Will on Max Out is the highest level of battle rap. Just like battling Easy and Chess battling on Summer Madness. Like, if you're telling me that a Summer Madness battle with Easy and Chess means more than my battle with Max Out, then just go ahead and say it so I can know that I'm behind the 8 ball, you know? Right. Just admit that, hey, we value a URL battle of this caliber more than, because Ill Will is the king of RBE at the time. He's a monster on a big stage, and it's the biggest event of the year. Like, I literally I literally had a top 10 battle of the year against the best guy over there in his environment on the big stage on the biggest card of the year of RBE. That's literally the equivalent, you know, of the highest form to me, you know? And so that's what kind of it is, you know? I think that when you look at other guys' schedules and you're like, well, they were on URL and they did all these battles on URL. We'll just come out and say, you know, that, hey, you know, but seem to be kind of treading that.
One of our co-hosts, real quick, one of our co-hosts, Sick, he wanted to know where the Rebuttal Game Crazy hoodies are at.
Hey, they're online.
That's why
IamAWardMerch.com. You can go down there. There's all kinds of stuff. Any T-shirt that says Rebuttal Game Crazy, you can get it in a hoodie. So if you just click on it, you can find the hoodie options. I got 3 different designs for Rebuttal Game Crazy. So you can go in there and find the hoodies for them. So they're all online.
Give that website one more time.
IamAWardMerch.com.
Right.
Hold on.
Shout out to Rolla. I rock with Rolla heavy. Very good dude. Very good dude. Love his artistry as well.
I want to put that up there really quickly. So what was it again? I'm sorry. I'm promoting the show. So that, excuse me, as
You're
I'm
fine.
looking down, I'm promoting the show.
It's I Am A Ward. So like I Am Award Merch.com. MERCH.
Yep. So
Okay.
my question for you is, did you happen to listen to the Easy to Black Captain interview with Cola and Polo from Black Compass?
I didn't listen to the whole thing. I listened to when he started talking about me, and listened to about I guess 3 to 5 minutes of kind of that discussion. I didn't go back and listen to it all. I've seen clips on Twitter. I went and clicked on it. Somebody has sent it to me like in Instagram all the time. Somebody's talking about you, some random person Instagram. Hey, 34-minute mark. Go check this out. You know, so I appreciate it because it's like it kind of gives me an idea. But yeah, I went back and watched about 3 to 5 minutes of what he was talking about.
Like, what was you taken back by what was said, or was it like, was you trying to understand where it was coming from? Was it confusing to you? Like, what was your initial reaction once you heard it?
You must didn't see the Twitter receipts.
Dude, you know I'm banned on Twitter. I can't come back to Twitter. I'm banned.
Oh, I forgot. Polo Tink Tink. Yeah. The Rebuttal Game Crazy. Like, I wish I had a shirt right now. I would hold it up. Like, yeah. You know, A-Word, for you to be a Christian, I'm gonna need you to stop treating people like that. God says to all thy neighbors, and you just, you're supposed to love thy brother, and you're doing your brother's right now.
As far as his remarks, taken back, no. So in context, he's basically passionate. I mean, he's URL's guy right now. Like he's becoming like, the guy that's probably on the next Genesis billboard. At the time we were all twerking. He's that guy. You know what I mean? So he's very protective and very passionate about his company. And that's admirable. Like, I love it. I mean, that's dope. I also know Easy. I don't know him very well, but we've talked and had conversations and stuff at events and stuff. So I wasn't looking at it through like a super hater, like, who are you? Like, maybe if I hadn't met the person, they don't know me from anything. Mm-hmm. I was just looking at it from an aspect of like, he's really going hard for his team in his locker room. He's passionate about it, what, when he said the white privilege comment, I wouldn't say I was taken back, but I would say that like, that's not something I thought made sense to say or applicable to the situation. And I actually thought like, dang, you probably should have said that, whether you believe it or not. Like I'm thinking in his like, bro, that wasn't smart. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, there's just some things you just don't put out there, And so I didn't understand. I understood what he was saying is that like me feeling entitled and wanting more than what the rest of people got on the end of on the URL end is a white privilege type of mindset. I don't know that he was specifically saying I was using my white privilege, but I think in context he was trying to say this entitlement is a type of mindset. You know what I mean? And I think that it could have just been easily communicated and being like, why are you entitled? Who are you to be entitled? Rather than trying to attach race to it. I had a conversation with him on the phone, a good conversation. But as far as like the idea of what he was upset or passionate about, like he just has to understand that. And I explained it to them this way, you come out of high school and you go work for a company and you're there for 4 or 5 years, you start making a certain amount of money. That's dope. But somebody that might have a master's degree and has already worked at another company, has experience, might come and apply and that company might hire them. They might make more money than you. You might be in a better position than you, you know? And sure, that company has a locker room to protect, but they also know talent, they know experience, and they know that you can be an asset to the company. So that's why they're bringing you in like that, you know? And so shout out to the guys who came straight out of high school and didn't build up and have what I have, you know, and went into URL and were successful. Shout out to them. That's dope, you know? But at this point, I'm not one of those type of guys. You know, I've built up my brand. I've been battling, 6 years. I've been making money battling for 5 years. I've been, on main stages doing at the highest high of battle rap for 4 years, you know? So it's not entitlement. It's value in knowing my worth and knowing what I feel like, I deserve. And it's also knowing that they have a huge locker room over there. And for me to just go in there and say, you know what, fine, I'm just going to go in here and take a name that's low on the totem pole on a low event or whatever, is me convoluting my brand and putting me in down here to where I have to work, you know? And if I'm being honest with you, I look at URL and say they have plans for about 15 battlers over there. And the rest of them, they're just like, all right, well, I guess you can get a super fight here in 4 months. You know what I mean? Like, right. And so that's why it's like, I don't want to be a part of that type of, situation. I'm my own entrepreneur. Now, I pick the battles I want. I do the battles I want, and I'm where I'm at because I'm able to operate and move accordingly.
Now, what would you say if somebody rebutted by saying, but A Ward, you took no names on other leagues, so why wouldn't you come over here and take lower names over here, and instead of wanting the high names? Like, what would you said your rebuttal getting crazy. So what would your rebuttal be to that?
Stop taking if somebody, my rounds, right?
If somebody said that.
Yeah, I tell people all the time, I'm like, when I take battles like that, like I look at those as like features. Like you make music, right? And you'll do a feature for somebody, and you'll go over here and you'll rap. It's very dope. I'll rap with you. We'll make a song together, whatever. That's for you. That's right. For you. This is my music over here. People are gonna judge me off of my music, like and so at that point I'm like, if I go in here and put out something that I don't want to put out, there's risk that comes with that. If I go over here and I give 110%, but I can go over here and battle, Patron in Seattle, and he's a Crucible guy or whatever. And I can do this. I can make this song with him, and it'll be dope for him. It'll be something that he can share to his people and stuff like that, But it's two different dynamics, The risk over there, if I go in there and I slip up or whatever, like I know not all the URL, the RBE, the King of the Dot eyes are completely on me, And it's like, let's and so. Like I said, I'm not one of those guys that does that, but there are guys a lot of times that it's just all swept under the rug. They go over there, they get their check, they get smoked or they choke or they do something or whatever. And it doesn't matter to them because they know they can go back to their home URL, RBE, King of the Dot or whatever, and still have the same profile, So yeah, so that's kind of the idea of it for me, is that like those are kind of like my features, but my music are the battles that I pick, the battles that I want to be doing on RBE, on King of the Dot, against other big name battlers, the battles I want to put on a show with, and I know they're tied to my brand and my buzz.
Wayne, you got something?
The question on the screen, basically, do you think that URL would bury instead of promote you to prove a point and steer a narrative that you can't hang? That's a good question. A good question too. I talk to people all the time, and it's like, I don't have a bad relationship with URL, but I don't think people look at me as like the guy that they want to just wrap their arms around and bring over there and like be the best battler in the world. Like I go back and forth with our battlers all the time. There's battle rap, in context, trash talk back and forth, Right. When I talk to like URL Smack and them, I always have a very deep appreciation for them. I want them to know like, yo, I support you. It's a bucket list thing for me to battle over here. What goes on Twitter going back and forth with your battlers, that's storyline stuff. One day down the road, even this easy thing, if I don't get on URL, who knows, in a year or two, battle rap changes like this. I could be battling him on Max Out 7. We don't know. So I don't in my mind think that URL is like, wow, we can't wait to have him because he's such a talent.
and we really want to put him in the situations to succeed.
Right.
I'm not saying that as a diss. I'm saying it is just, I get it, you know?
Yeah.
So I do believe that probably if I was to go over there, they would secretly be like, man, I hope this dude gets smoked. You know what I mean? Like, and like, once again, I get it. I don't know that they would bury. He used the word bury. I don't think they would bury or shelve or whatever, but I definitely think it would be in their best interest to control, you know, what I do to the point to where they can kind of put me where they want to put me. Because right now I'm just kind of like out here just running crazy by myself, making all my own rules.
Current champion of the year, Chilla Jones, said you has his vote for champion of the year.
Chilla.
He is in the comments.
Shout out to Chilla.
What's going on,
he is
Chilla?
Somebody I hold in high regards when it comes to learning how to navigate through the culture. His back's always against the wall. He's another guy who is one of the best battlers of all time, and he earns every plate and every big name he got and gets. You know, he I think the term is bucking the trend, but last year when he won champion of the year, like, I don't think that was supposed to happen. I think that happened because he freaking put his nose to the grindstone and went and killed, you know, all of a lot of battlers. So shout out to Chilla, because I look at him as a peer and somebody that I hold in high regard. So I appreciate that, my guy.
Duck no smoke over here. Yeah, we duck no smoke over here. So we're gonna ask that question, and I'm not gonna go crazy about the question. I'm gonna let A Ward speak on it.
Yeah, Peso says basically you sound scared like you're gonna lose to a mid-tier guy on URL. Yeah,
see, scared can't be in my vocabulary because I just battled 23 times. I just battled Lou Castro on Gutters League in Texas. You know, I battled Riggs, you know, in Wartown. I battled, you know, Geechee Gotti in Compton. Like, scared is not the word for me. Like that it'll never be the word for me. Like, if there's anybody that's not scared, I pull up 600 feet from Nutty Block and just battled, you know, Geechee Gotti in Compton. So, yeah, nope. Protective of my brand, yes.
Old battle rap dude said, if Caffiene doesn't renew their deal with URL, would you still battle over there because the money wouldn't be the same and it would be less than 50%, less than 50% less events?
You know, it's actually never been about the amount of money. You know, it's never been about that. Like I said, the first battle that I signed to take over there was Twerk, and I took it for free because it was about the move. It was about, my first battle over there is Twerk, you know? And like, that's what I'm kind of saying is like, you know, understand like, his first battle's Twerk. That's dope. They look at him in this light, you know? In hindsight, that might have been them trying to set me up to freaking 30 me out the gate. But, you know, like, I don't know. But so, you know, it's never been about that. It's a bit about the principle of understanding, like, you know, they kind of have an idea of what I make. They kind of know, you know, who I'm battling and stuff like that, and not trying to lowball me and throw me in, down here in this, you know, pandemic purgatory with all of these other guys.
I mean, seeing that we getting ready to roll into 2022, do you have a list of who you would like to see in 2022, or you just going by ear and whoever steps in front of you?
Can we ask a question before we get to that part? Because what I want you to do, and I know you've said it before, but just for some that may not be aware, because we are, you know, people tend to forget. And now that battle rap is getting spicy, can you kind of give us the play-by-play on how that situation worked and why you're not on URL? Because the 8-minute interview that I am going to finally drop that with us. Later on, I'll drop that. But I know before that, you and I had a conversation, and it was just kind of in passing when I was sitting with Big T, and you had made the statement about battling Twerk, and you were so nice about it, and was just kind of like, well, you know, he just came out of recovery, this, and I'm like, but no, he's doing this and he's doing that. Hey, word, no, you should demand it. But you're like, no, we'll see about it down the line. Then fast forward. It was all the other names that they were trying to give you. And it was almost like the narrative was trying to be stirred as if you were insulted by the other names. And people looked at it as, well, hell, you're on URL. Why wouldn't you just take it?
Yeah. So, you know, basically, obviously, I've you know, kind of explained it. So signed a contract to battle Twerk, to battle, you know, him, signed it to battle. I took the battle for free, you know. They're like, we're giving you Twerk, you know. So at that point in time, I compromised, you know. He got into the car wreck. I think it was about 10 to 14 days before the battle, something like that. You know, I was actually done with like almost 4 rounds of material. You know, I didn't have my 3 final, but I had been writing. After the car wreck, you know, they made the decision to not reschedule the battle. Twerk made the decision and said that he wasn't going to battle me on his comeback battle, you know. And so whenever they moved on to offer me other names, they offered me Real Sick on the volume where Geechee Gotti battled Goods, which is a Caffiene battle, a dope battle. And I said, yeah, I would do it. And they said free. And I'm like, no, I already took a free battle. You know, I already wrote 4 rounds for Twerk and you guys didn't reschedule it, you know? So there's always been something about the offer that we haven't gotten to that compromise level now, you know? And it's just like, I refuse to, you know, just kind of like be thrown to this situation or that situation, you know? I firmly believe that I am the most in-demand debut on URL of all time.
Okay.
I don't know. There's probably a handful of guys that might be able to say, you know, like when Daylight battled finally on URL, you know, Pat Stay and Sharon or stuff like that. But in this era of battle rap, in the social media era, in the Champion of the Year era, in the media era or whatever, with all the publicity and media, I firmly believe that I'm the most anticipated debut on URL. And I think something comes with that. I think that there should be why lose that? You know, why not grab that by the horns and say, yo, we might not ever have this again. You know, now we're doing crucibles and stuff. We kind of know people. Cool, you're on URL. Here, introduce you to it, right? We might not have this again. You know, why not do something cool with that? Why not have a surprise battle or a big trailer, a big announcement or whatever, you know? But it goes back to that protecting the locker room and not trying to give preferential treatment to people that have not helped build that. So I get that aspect too.
It seems like to me that they just, when you agreed to the free the first time, they were just like, okay, well, we're just going to throw him, like, not saying Real Sick is anybody, but because he agreed to the free with Twerk, we're just going to hurry up and get a battle out of him because he agreed to do it for free. So
what's crazy is the amount I asked for is probably a quarter of now what it would take, you know, and that's, you know, that's after a year. And that's just, you know, that's just understanding, you know, how we're moving. So to continue to answer your question, Wing, like, they have offered, well, I won't say specifically, the conversations are normally Loso hitting me and saying, yo, I'm on the phone with them and they want to offer you this. Or Ace Amin hitting me and saying, yo, I just got off the phone with URL and they're saying, what do you think about this? So they're kind of through my friends, you know, like rarely is it like a call from Smack or Beasley. And I think P might just be tired of talking to me. Like, I wonder if he just is like, I don't feel like calling this dude. You know what I mean? But like, so like I have gotten like some different, like, hey, they're talking about battle at None, or go ahead and take a Jack Boy, or take, you know, these are just like conversations, dialogue through people. So it's, you know, like when I say like I've never gotten like an official offer of these, you know, Loso hit me and said, yo, they want me and you versus Brooklyn Hands versus Math on the Summer Impact card, you know, which actually I was like, man, that's not a bad, you know, I really want to do another 2-on-2 with Loso, but then I'm like, do I want my debut on URL to be a 2-on-2? And then it was supposed to be like one of those battles like Loso just had with Jay the Nightwing, where it wasn't on Caffiene. It was just aired afterwards, and then it was just going to drop, you know? Yeah. So, you know, just some of those things is like, eh. But yeah, so I hadn't really gotten like a offer, you know, in a while. I had a conversation with them at Civil War.
Your friends and stuff.
Yeah. I had a conversation with them at Civil War, all of them, you know, person to person, make sure they knew where I was at, you know, and told them that I didn't want to talk until after the Geechee battle. Because I just didn't know where that battle was going to take me, what I was going to do with it, and just told them that, you know, after the Geechee battle, we could have discussions. But I haven't talked to them since the Geechee. Like, they haven't reached out since post Geechee battle. So,
old battle rap dude says, why does any battle rapper know the offers? Which makes sense, because if we're going to say, hey, we're stepping into the realm of what real business is, as we should have been there. And y'all know I've been saying this for years. on a 9-to-5 job with any corporation, any mom and pop, anywhere where you're working in corporate America, in this in this society, your boss always says, and it's almost against policy for you to discuss your pay with anyone.
Well, no, I don't. I mean, and definitely not pay. They're not discussing my pay with these guys, you know. And that, I don't want that to seem like a thing, you know. And I've made it seem like it's okay in conversations with, you know, with P and different things like, yo, you know, if you can't get a hold of me, you know, and it might just be Loso's on the phone with them and they're talking and it's like, oh, this might be an idea. Run this by your boy. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm not opposed to any of that. But the other thing is, even though URL is a probably multi-million-dollar company, like if you look at it like in the perfect world, right, they would have an office, a headquarters. I would be a free agent. They would bring me into their office and I would sit down in front of them and we would talk about me signing over there. It wouldn't be, you know, to me like the company's got to grow when you're doing more events and more like there should be that standard, you know. And I'm not telling nobody how to run their business or nothing, but like if you just got P calling 75 different battlers or Bill's taking, you know, 40 of them, and it can get super convoluted and very like, you know, very just overwhelming, you know. So to me, like, you know, I think that some of that kind of stuff maybe needs to be delegated accordingly. But like I said, they're succeeding at a high level. So I don't want to be sitting here like I know everything or whatever. But just to kind of just to talk about like the idea of a perfect world company, that's, you know, that's kind of what that looks like. But, you know, this is something that like I've kind of given them the green light, like, oh, you know, Ace and Loso are my guys, you know, and they know that we've been on three-way calls and stuff like that before. So it's not like any kind of like, you know, under the table talking about what they, I never took it like that.
The people says that they were scared of Goldberg in the 90s. They're scared of A Ward now. A lot of people are agreeing with that.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. Everything's like, you know, wrestling and stuff. It's like Sting was on WCW, but he never made it over to WWF, and you wonder kind of like what he would have been or something. But it is it's funny. It's a different a different look at it, you know.
But it's a real backstory behind why Sting never went to WWE when WCW first closed, and I like that backstory that he had told. But that's a different wrestling topic to talk about another time. So back to the last question that I had threw out to you before Wing wanted to get into the other stuff. Like, who do you have on your list for 2022? Like, what do you see yourself doing in 2022?
It's wild because, you know, going into 2020 and 2021, I had all these hit lists and stuff. And I think another testament to me being like a champion of the year and stuff is like, I don't have to make a hit list because when you look on Twitter, these guys are all calling me out. Like I'm on all their lists, you know, like the Surfs and the B-Dots and the Avs and the Tay-Rocks and the, I mean, I won't say Easy. I don't know that he's formally whatever, but like a lot of these guys, you know, are saying like, yo, Ward, what's up? You know? And so all I want for 2022 is for people to just hold themselves accountable. Like if you're going to tweet me and act like you want to battle me, like give the culture that battle. I'm right here. I'm outside. You know what I mean? And so I put up the post with, you know, Surf, T-Top, B-Dot, Av, you know, guys that have all said this year, you know. Tay-Rock even said in my Instagram comments, you know, and screenshot it or whatever, he's like, I might have to go ahead and take you out for this URL debut and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like my peers, these guys know the talent level in which I have, you know, they wouldn't be entertaining it, you know?
Right.
Because all they're doing is giving me more buzz, you know? And so it's like, why feed into his buzz, you know, and build more of a monster to deal with coming over there. You know what I mean? Right. But my peers know that, like, you know, I'm one of the best battlers in the world. And so that's why they're doing it. So I don't really have a hit list. I would just say, like, I do want on RBE, I want to battle on RBE as much as I can next year. I'd love to battle Hollow on a max out. I'd love to get a 3-round battle with Clips on a max out. I'd love to get a 3-round, 3-minute battle with Big K on a max out. You know, you know, those are all battles I'd love to have, you know. On the King of the Dot side, you know, I'd love to go over there, maybe battle whoever wins the tournament. I'd love to, you know, maybe even still have a title shot one day. I've not put that past me, you know, depending on who holds the title. If we can get the borders, I'd love to take Shoddy Horror on a King of the Dot card or on on a RBE card or something like
that'd
that.
be a good one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then
You
I would really
nice
like, I said this on another thing, like if a guy like Lloyd Banks or whatever wants to jump in the ring, like I think that I'm one of the next up that deserves to be like to put like some of these industry dudes in their place. You know, I think that what you're gonna get with me is like, you know, you're gonna get like, yo, this dude has to really write because I am a battle rapper. You know what I mean? Like I'm going to attack you, angles, put on a crazy performance. You're not gonna have to worry about me just up there getting a check and selling a fight. I don't know if an industry rapper would take me because maybe my profile is not as big, but I would love to be positioned. You know, what's up, Norman? Say what's up. Hey, say what's up.
Hi, Norman. Norman said, "I'm D-boy in the conversation."
Right.
I'm
He's like, he ain't paying me no attention. You know. So yeah. So you know, that's just kind of like what I'd like to do.
Somebody asked, so is URL against you taking a one battle deal?
Yeah, I seen that, and I seen Carlos Johnson's full battle deal. You know, those are other discussions I have. You know, one of the things I was against was exclusivity contracts that prevented me from being on other leagues for 2 to 3 years. 2 to 3 years is a long time to me. Like people don't believe it, but I'm 36. Like I'm not a 23-year-old, 24-year-old battle rapper, you know, that's got 10, 15 more years in the game. So I've always like said, yo, can we just do like a 2 battle deal or a 3 battle deal? You know, because I've also always said like, I don't know how much I want to come over there and be a part of your roster per se. Like, you know, I'd rather just come over there like Pat Stay and Sharon do and battle, give you 110% great battles or whatever, and go back and do my own thing. You know, once again, it's a business though. They look at like they're building you up and giving you a profile, and they don't want other people to benefit from what they're pouring into you. You know, the thing about it is that they're benefiting from what RBE and King of the Dot poured into me. You know, like those guys helped build me, you know, because of an asset that I am, they're benefiting it. So it's a weird conversation. But yeah, like that would be the typical thing for me. If you see me on URL, like, you know, it's probably because we were able to come to an agreement where it was like, okay, if we can sign a 4 battle deal, I can knock that out in 8 months. You know what I mean? Like as many events as they have to have. And RBE and King of the Dot, like they do great jobs, but we know they put on like maybe 6 events tops a year, you know, whereas URL's doing probably 24.
Right.
You know, so it wouldn't be big, you know, for me to take 8 months and set aside and go over here and do different things. You know what I mean? And still be professional about it. So yeah, I mean, that's something that I would love, you know, if we were able to have that discussion. I just, every time they've ever offered me anything, it's always been 2 years with a 3rd year option. So
yeah.
That's dope. That's dope. So what do you have? Well, I know that you have several events coming up, a 2-on-2, also you and Loso. So let's talk about that. What you got coming up?
Yeah, we're excited. We haven't had the 2-on-2 since the B.Geechee battle, which I think is one of the best 2-on-2s ever. And we did a very, very good job. You know, we had a quarantine 2-on-2 that was fun, but we haven't been able to perform together. So leagues have reached out to us to do 2-on-2s, but most of them fell through. It's kind of difficult, you know, when you're bringing 2 guys out, you're kind of paying 4 battlers for 1 battle. So it's kind of, you know, depending on the league, you know, how much they want to invest. But shout out to Street Report. Shout out to MVP and KD. They're 2 talented guys. You guys are familiar with MVP, obviously, you know, throughout the whole tournament. And then just his battles. He's had a couple battles on Caffiene, very talented. KD's another guy that's very talented from St. Louis. You've seen his battle with JC. You've seen him on RBE before. You've seen him on, you know, I'm pretty sure he did an RBE 1SK. I could be wrong, but but you've seen him on all kinds of you've seen him on all kinds of different platforms putting on. So it's 2 very talented guys. St. Louis is closer to Kansas City. It's about 3.5 hours away. So it also provides, you know, for some of my local friends and family and stuff to kind of come out and see the battle, which is really dope. And then, like I said, just being able to perform with Loso and get another 2-on-2, that's exciting. So January 9th, it's in St. Louis. It's at the African Palace. If you go to my Instagram, which is IMA Ward, the flyer and everything's on there, please come out and support. So.
And I'll put the flyers up at the end when we drop this. Yeah, I'll make sure that I'll put it in the thumbnail for you as well. So yeah, that's gonna be dope this year, 2022.
Yeah,
and that's gonna be when is the 2-on-2?
The 2-on-2 is January 9th, so 2022.
January 9th, right? Okay.
Yep. So
right. Okay. So that'll be, oh dang, that'll be the day after Super fights. Okay.
Super fight. Yep.
Right. Is there a
So yeah,
I
have the makeup battle with Fonz, that we're hopefully to get scheduled in this first quarter that didn't happen last year. So that'll be another good one. And then there should be an announcement here probably in the next week. I locked in a battle with a guy that's been calling me out and just going nuts for like a long time. So it's a highly anticipated battle on a league that I really, really enjoyed battling on last year. So it's a league I battled on last year and had a great performance against a guy who's a URL guy who's been calling me out for a long time. So here in the next week, looking for that announcement. So, and that'll be at the end of February. So.
Okay. So I have to, before I let you go, I have to throw my plug in there. Have you been paying attention to the Brick by Brick guys?
I have been. I have, and then I really I feel like I'm that I didn't do enough for the Rosenberg Clone event. Like I really was happy about the promo in that event, the card and everything. It looked good. But I definitely love the Brick by Brick idea. I told ARP when everybody was talking about it, like, yo, like put me on one of those cards. Like I'll headline and do an event. Yeah, like just call me. Like I'll come out there and battle somebody in one of those cities or whatever. We'll put on, or we can try and bring one to Kansas City. We have an international airport. Flights are cheap flying into Kansas City. We have a great league here that we can help, with venue and all that stuff, cameras. So I'm always willing to jump in there and help out. I don't ever want to be a league owner, but I would definitely battle on all kinds of leagues. So.
Oh my God, that behind the scenes. What I do love about the guys over at RBE, and that was such a blessing to kind of be able to do this, because I've always done this behind the scenes outside of media. Most people that know, but for those who didn't, and just being patronizing both the big, I unfortunately I hadn't got a chance to get to a King of the Dot event, but between URL and just knowing the different people and the different things that they do, and being able to be at a RBE event and just know they're behind the scenes and everything, it's different. But when you do that, oh my God, because ARP is like, I just want to give you guys the growing pains. You and Lawrence can do what you do. I'm just gonna sit back. You can talk. Just call me whenever you need me. I'm just gonna let you do. I'm like, you know what? I'm calling him. Look, ARP. I told you. I don't even call him ARP. Adam, listen. Okay, like, yeah, it's a
whole
lot.
name.
So, I mean, yes, government.
Yeah.
I do applaud what URL is doing. And I guess for me, a lot of people talk about when you pick the side. I didn't pick a side. I got in where I fit in.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? URL is a big conglomerate of people, whereas they have a whole, they have a system. RBE, so many people had asked for RBE to bring in new talent. We're here now. We're bringing in that new talent. You know what I mean? And that's something that over the years I had asked about. So when Lawrence, and I will always say, threw me under the bus and brought me right in. I thought I would just be hosting 1SKs, and then turn around and both of them were kind of like, hey, the brick by brick idea is great. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, where's your notebook? Because I always tell them I got a notebook of people. So it's a gauntlet of things that Brick by Brick stands for. So it's where everything makes sense. Whether it's somebody like you, A Ward, that says, hey, you know what, I want to do this. I see this guy climbing up. I see that he's about to make that main stage. Maybe I can get him there with this battle. You know what I mean? And so that the opportunities that are there, like, I believe in this, and it's somewhere where I don't have to have anybody looking over my shoulder. Lawrence is like, hey, I'm gonna approve it. Lawrence wants to make it to where I can just move to the back and you could just do this. So yes, when you say, I don't want to be a league owner, I want to be able to, I need somebody to lean on, shit, so, but,
yeah, shout out to the people that are like in the mud for real. Like there's the ones that are in the mud, like Lawrence and yourself. And I know that there's people on the King of the Dot side, like J Pro and just Lush One and on the URL side, there's KD and P. Like these are like the behind the scenes, and JB behind the scenes people that literally make it a well-oiled machine, you know. And I don't envy trying to get battlers to the venue and trying to deal with plus ones and trying to find flight and you missed your flight and stuff like that. Like there's some lost heroes out here that really don't get elevated enough in you know on all of that. And so shout out to all of y'all for real.
Definitely. Well, we appreciate you. And my sister Danny said, can you unblock her now, please?
I blocked Danny. What'd she say? Did she say I battle nobody's?
I don't know. She just said A-word block me. I said I don't know.
I tell people all the time, listen, most of the time it's not about you. It's about me protecting my peace and realizing you might have said something that's gonna have me go down a rabbit hole. You know what I mean? And I probably should just hit the mute button, but when I block it, you just disappear. You know, if I hit the mute button, I can still scroll back and see it. But no, send me the Twitter name and I'll make sure they're unblocked. You know, but yeah, it's always about me protecting my peace.
That's her right there.
Got you. I got you, Danny.
Yeah. You did a whole interview with her. I was like, I don't know why he blocked you, Daddy. I'll make sure I ask him.
or listen, I done blocked a few people for saying crazy stuff about Saga or Loso too. Like, oops, like I'll see like a comment over there and I'll just be like, yo, that, and I'm not saying she's out of pocket, but I block people and they're like, yo, why am I blocked? I'm like, yo, cause this was about freaking Saga's new song that came out and you had some kind of porn comment to put underneath it for no reason. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm just like, you wildin'. All right, you blocked. Like, I'll definitely block you for stuff like that. So.
Oh, she said it was the Saga.
There you go. That might have been it then. Like, I'm like, yo, like, why? It's like, stay off my guy's head, man.
But man, appreciate you for being on A Ward. Thank you kindly for that.
Definitely.
No doubt, man. Appreciate y'all. Like I said, IamAWard.com. Be looking out for the 2-on-2 coming out, a couple announcements or whatever. I mean it. You know, I appreciate all the encouragement, support. You know, when it comes to the Champion of the Year votes, if you get a vote, man, consider me. But vote for who you think is the Champion of the Year. I never tell people to vote for me and say like I'm number one. It's nothing like that. But I put in a lot of hard work this year. And I think, you know, when it comes to, you know, down to the last few, that you'll see that I'm definitely a consideration with all the rest. There's not really a separation from us. So thank you guys.
No problem.
Absolutely.
All right. Love y'all. Be blessed.
You too. So Danny, he's gonna unblock you.
That don't mean start wilding out about the Saga and his homeboys again, Danny. Oh man. But again, big shout out to A Ward being on the show, giving us the time, you know, to clear up a lot of things and talk to us and break a lot of stuff down, and even, you know, get to give that story again. But other than that, again, we will be back later on today because we're going to discuss Champion of the Year. We're going to get into you know, who we think is where they're ranked and all of that good stuff. So that will be a fun show, and definitely, you know, we will have more of the panel up. But I just want to say something real quick about Easy to Block Captain's white privilege comment. Me personally, I think it was a dumb comment that he had made. Do white privilege exist? Yes, white privilege does exist, but you can't place white privilege on somebody who knows their business. You can't place white privilege on somebody who knows their worth. When Hitman Holla is able to move around, Calico's able to move around, Geechee Gotti now is able to move around. It's so many of these people that earn their spot that's able to move around. You can't call that white call that they know their worth and they know, hey, I can do whatever I want. I've done enough. A Ward has been on the outside looking in, and he's been pushing and trying to show y'all that he is indeed an elite MC. The thing that I can never understand, the thing that I will never get, is that we try to put everything under the umbrella of white privilege. That's, to me, that's that Fox News tactic that they do with critical race theory. They try to stick everything under the umbrella of critical race theory, and I think that's stupid. I think the comments that Easy had made was ridiculous because, don't get me wrong, as talented of a battle rapper you are, and again, you made me a lot of money on a lot of bets, brother, but you can't sit up here and try to kill this man over something that y'all chose to do. Y'all chose to sign these contracts. He said, I'm not signing these contracts, and if I do sign, I don't want to be exclusive. Y'all chose to be exclusive. Y'all are told where you can battle and where you can't battle. And the fact that he is saying, no, I want to still battle here, and there, and y'all are not going to stop me, that's not white privilege. That's knowing your business. That's knowing your worth. So when we immediately go to the whole white privilege comment, the whole white privilege thing, to me, it's almost crazy. Like when people found out what the word gaslighting meant and everybody started using it. People found out the word toxic masculinity and everybody started using it. People find out these words and they start using it for every damn thing they possibly can, and it don't even mean that. And to me, it's stupid. It's ridiculous because y'all are sitting up here trying to put somebody in a box that y'all damn sure don't want a black MC to be put into. Remember, it was that box that they kept putting smack rappers at. Oh, they can't battle over at King of the Dot. They're not funny because they only talk about guns and drugs and this. And then when you had the Charlie Clipses coming over there and Mav Hoffa's coming over there showing that I can do more than just talk about the street stuff. I can actually be entertaining. That's when they was able to break that stuff. So to me, again, big shout out to what they did over there at Black Compass Black. I support them all the time or whatever. Me and Cola have had a fire debate. If y'all have not seen it, trust me, it's somewhere in the scrolls of the Danny Lux show and the Breakdown crew because we constantly stay working. But again, it was a dumb comment that Easy made. It was a dumb comment. I disagree with it. I'm sorry. Because that's not white privilege. It's the fact that that man knows his worth and knows what he decided to do. Thank you for giving me the ISO, Wing. I appreciate that. You know? So, and to Bo Bent, because Bo Bent, you've been still just woofing. A Ward you said you hope they never book him. Why are you hating on this man that hard? Then you say he's an acquired taste. Okay, if he's an acquired taste, then find you some different tastes. Taste ain't for everybody. Period. You know, like this junk is just getting out of hand because it's a dude that's honestly saying, yo, I know my worth now, and this is how I want to move. And y'all want to label it as white privilege because it happens to be a guy that's white. And everything is not white privilege. I'm sorry. It's not. It is not. And in this case, it's definitely not. But again, big shout out to Cola, man, because Cola and them was doing all of that. And so on and so forth. White folks stick together, so should we. What does any of that have to do with battle rap at this moment? I mean, please explain to me. Like, please explain to me. What does any of that have to do with battle rap at this moment? What does any of this have to do with that? I don't, the funniest comment I've heard all day, I don't even listen to you. And then he said earlier, I don't even listen to A-Ward, but yet you're in the comments during the A-Ward interview listening, and you're still here listening to me. Be gone. Anyway, so I said all I needed to say. If Wing, you want to jump back in and add anything, you're more than welcome. But I said everything I needed to say because I'm not going to sit up here and just go in about this because, again, it's ridiculous. Do white privilege exist? Yes, it does. But in this case, white privilege don't have nothing to do with the fact that this man knows his worth, period. But go ahead.
Okay, so let me say that, Bo, shout out to you, but respect my brother. You do, and I respect your opinion as well. That's why I put it up there. However, I can understand where he's coming from in terms of with this narrative. It's really, yeah, like you said, Black people should stick together. You're right. But we're talking about a league that wants this white man on their platform. And the fact that they want this white man on their platform, it has nothing to do with white privilege, in my opinion. It's kind of what Danny Myers is doing. I feel like he remixed what Danny Myers was doing. Let me ask you this, Bo, because Bo, you from the old school. You're from a place where we watched battles, and the battles that we watched weren't all on URL, or this was even before RBE was in existence. It was before King of the Dot was in existence. You see what I'm saying? A lot of not even a lot of these guys, but our rap errors come from a Fight Club, or if you were watching Don't Flop and Scribble Jam, and if you were watching Lions Den and shit, Smack DVD eras, and Grind Time, all these different eras that we're from, we know these battlers from those eras. Now, the way URL formulated, I didn't come up on URL. I was watching everything else. And a lot of y'all know that already. But when we get into the contract war of, we want you to be able to be exclusive over here, because the argument is we don't want you to be able to go everywhere when we're building you up. As A Word just said, you can't have built me up when King of the Dot and RBE gave me my biggest battles, some of my biggest battles, for you to even have the interest in me that you do. To protect my career, I want to make the best career moves for me. I don't really feel like that is white privilege. And that has nothing to do with white privilege in a predominantly Black owned sport, or, so to speak. I mean, a lot of us say that the white people in battle rap are visitors, no? So
Very
the
true.
fact that he uses we can't put a color on the fact of trying just to protect what you're trying to do. And you shouldn't water down someone's career. And not for nothing, we know that there are guys that are Black that those careers are being watered down on certain leagues.
Yeah.
Do we go as hard for the unethical business that we see with certain leagues? With
Black
these
people
Black
need to stick
men,
together, but we set up here, but one Black company just slapped another Black company with a lawsuit. Man, get out of here with that shit.
We can't talk about that. Can't talk about that.
No, that's all I got to say. But the whole thing, Bo Ben, we're not asking you to like A Ward. You don't gotta like A Ward. So no, we don't have that confused. You don't gotta like A Ward. Nobody's asking you to like him. Cola, we still got a little bit of time. You're more than welcome to come up here and break down what it is we're misinterpreted. But I listened to the interview
Cola,
or whatever, and that's exactly what I got from it. And you're right, Easy has freedom of speech. Easy definitely has freedom of speech. But just like he has freedom of speech, I also have the right to speak on what I just heard. So I heard the interview. Y'all did a great job with the interview. You're more than welcome to explain to me what I misinterpreted. That's all I'm gonna say. You're more than welcome to come up here and tell me what it is that I misinterpreted or whatever, So that, again, Cola, you still the homeboy, man.
No. Bo, it don't. No, you don't. I'm not saying that. As far as you having to like anyone, no. Come on now. We all had these conversations. It's people that y'all don't like that we like. Y'all know. Y'all talk about DNA the other day. They had the show and they talked about DNA so bad, and because this goddamn internet was fucking up, I couldn't even get on the show. So yeah, I ain't forgot that. I have not forgotten that. But at the end of the day, it's a big majority of people who do want to see him on URL. We would love to see. I want to see him on URL. I mean, I feel like, yes, that's one of the highest accomplishments in battle rap, but at what cost?
Yeah.
For certain people. That's all I'm saying. At what cost is I think where he's coming from, where A Ward is coming from with trying to handle his business in accordance to how he wants his career to be handled. So we get over there. I don't really want to get all into that, but and again, if however Easy said it, it came from him. So, if he wants to explain further, he definitely can explain that further. And not for nothing, Bo, I'm not sure if you were here the whole time. Easy and A Ward actually had a conversation. So everything is good.
They did.
You
yeah,
know,
everything's good.
everything is good.
Cola, you know I know controversy creates a great conversation, man. It's all love, bro, man. Like, and trust and believe, I'm pretty sure me and you go cross paths for another good debate and all of that other kind of good stuff. But again, I just disagree with the comment. If a lot of people saying, yo, well, he should have used different words if that's what he didn't mean. I just disagree with that comment. But in the end, like A-Ward said in the beginning of the interview, they did talk behind the scenes, so everything is good now. Anything you want to add, Wing, before we get out here and take a rest before we got to come right back on and talk champion of the year?
No, I don't have nothing else to talk about. I don't know who these random ass things that are coming in. Oh my goodness, you people. No, he didn't say you people. You people. Oh, battle rap dude said you people misunderstood. That's not freedom of speech. The freedom of speech issue. You know, it's a guys in battle rap and girls, a lot of us, even myself sometimes, and this is why I don't always get on this camera and speak to certain things, because we are emotional sometimes in what we say, and then certain shit can be misconstrued and it's on the internet forever. And that's usually just the way that it is. But again, regardless of the fact, they did have a conversation. They had a conversation behind the scenes, which I applaud that, because a lot of people don't have conversations and they just kind of let shit go. But they did have a conversation behind the scenes, which was dope, and they have the understanding that they have. So, you know, regardless of the fact, it's out there for the people to debate. This is just a conversation. This is not, oh, we hate Easy now. It's a conversation that, regardless of the fact, it needs to be talked about on every platform, so that if Easy did not mean it certain ways, we did ask A-Ward if he watched the whole interview, which he said he did. So he didn't just hear it from other people and take the bits and pieces that applied to him. He actually heard the whole thing. So those were his thoughts and how he felt about that. And of course, Ray heard it all, and those were his thoughts about how he felt about it. Oh God, Bo, you are horrible. But I know that Bo, he says this about a lot of people. It's not just the white boy. So, you know, he keeps people talking to him about him. Haters bring viewership. Jeff Briggs, talk the promotion game. That's what Surf does, and is so great at it. Y'all listen, 48 Laws of Power. Of non-white battle rappers. So why are we saying this? That is true. Cola said he not tripping. You his brother, Ray. At the end of the day, Danny, cut it out. At the end of the day, this was a great interview. Again, we appreciate him coming up. I'm just trying to get everybody's comments in. We appreciate everybody. Again, make sure y'all tune back in later on, because my brothers, you know what? I think I might let them do this, because I need to cook and I got some other stuff that I need to do. But we wanted to get this early one in. The white boy would have put a better fight up versus Gravity Rangers. My gosh. Jesus, Cramity. Yes, we watch everything, Cola. Everything. That's a fact. Okay, Black Compass. Oh, yeah, y'all always do. They're gonna be on at 5 p.m. about 5:30 Eastern. So yeah, pull up for that show. They will probably talk white privilege again. We really didn't want to get into it on this show here, but I'll put that flyer out soon. But they'll be talking about the road to champion of the year. And okay, your money is on your card also. Oh shit. Okay, Danny will be pulling up. Danny will be pulling up for that one. She said, what time we going live? 5:30. Yep. Danny will be the one commandeering this shit. So yeah. Yes, you've been on the shelf, Bo. You have. Yes, you have to come back. And make sure that you hear. Yeah, you've been low. Let's see. So it will be 5:30 Eastern Standard. Ray inbox me, might pull up on the show. You know what, Cola, I'm gonna set it up in a little bit and I'll send you the link. And if you can pull up. And they may just put the link in the chat for everybody. He said no, Cola. Hell yeah. What you need a Cash App for, Bo?
Oh, he probably about to send you some money. Ray inbox me, you might pull up on that show. Oh, definitely, man, definitely, because the champion of the year race, in my opinion, is way closer than what a lot of people want it to be. But yo, Cola, side note, big shout out to you with Driz for holding your own with that K-Shine and Easy debate, man. Because, fam, I was with y'all on that one. I was definitely with y'all on that Easy K-Shine debate and how y'all was putting it. Because I thought I was the only one that was tripping. But big shout out to y'all on that one, man. So, other than that, Wing, I don't have nothing else. I kept going dark because Moms was calling me, so I got to get ready to go take care of some stuff for her.
Right.
But yeah, we'll definitely be back on 5:30 to discuss this champion of the year thing. So
that's my Cash App. Y'all want to support? Appreciate you as usual for Christmas. Hey, everybody else put theirs up. I be feeling so cheap, but okay, y'all know I'm an old ass woman. I'm 50. You know, we have certain ways that we did back in the olden days. No, I'm just that's an inside joke, y'all. I ain't 50. That's an inside joke. Let me see. Damn, sis, you gonna front on me on YouTube. I know that was wrong. But yeah, so we'll be doing that. The Wing Show, not Christmas. It's the holiday, nigga. It's the holiday.
But big shout out to everybody, man. Big shout out to everybody. Shout out to Bo Bent too. I mean, trust me, I've disagreed with plenty of people in the comments or whatever, and we've had debates back and forth. I enjoy this because, you know, we literally just give everybody a time to speak their piece or whatever, whether you agree, disagree, or anything like that. You know, we can always just get to some kind of peaceful dialogue, man. So big shout out to Bo. Big shout out to all the supporters, man, that just keep showing us love time in and time out. Wing, I got to get out of here. I'll holler at y'all in a couple of hours for the next show. Hey, salute to you, Bo. Peace.
All right. We out. Love y'all. I think that was it. I'm trying to think of anything else I had to say, but probably not. So I be back here at 5:30 Eastern, y'all.
It's the level of competition for me. Two bastards locked in a verbal annihilation, dog fight. You bring in the scars, you bring in the wordplay, the attributes that make the battle grand. It's the breakdown, baby. Get your guards up. Fuck with us. One night of